Hello there and welcome back to some more silly Car Showdown today. Now we are taking a look at the Austin Taxi. This car was requested by Feld Entertainment and this one should be interesting. The Taxi is quite a weird car in this game, as I'm sure you all know. A pretty rare car. It used to only be a wheelspin exclusive, but now you can get it through Aisha's taxi company. I got one of these on a wheelspin on the first day, so I had no need for that, but yeah, it's a pretty neat car, pretty cool car. Very Britannia, although the sort of cabs I grew up with were not these. We basically only have mini cabs around here, but the black cabs that I grew up with were kind of newer looking versions of this. I'm not quite sure when this FX4 was in service particularly, but, you know, it does fulfill the need of being a black cab. Anyways, it will not be staying stock, because stock it's rated for D100, and it has a grand total of 68 horsepower, and the stock engine can't get much power, so we're going to get rid of it. Our choices are a 3.2 litre inline 6, the 6.2 litre V8, or the Turbo Rally. I'm thinking we're having a V8 Taxi, and I'm thinking we're also having a twin-turbo V12 Taxi. And also, another bonus of the Taxi is that it does actually have a wide body kit. It also has that. You can have a chop roof if you want. Don't know why you would. But you can also get it with the wide body kit. I didn't actually realise the wide body kit is the chop roof and that, which is interesting. But yes, it does have a wide body kit. Looks quite ridiculous with said wide body kit. But of course, as usual, we will go for it. It's also one of those wide body kits that does not give you adjustable aero on the front. You actually have to put Forza aero on it if you want that, and per the rules of this series, of course, we have no Forza aero on the car, so I'm not complaining. Right, tyres, we have an awful lot of ones to choose from, but of course we're going to go for the race tyres. Now, 165s is the stock compound. Those aren't particularly big, but the 325s, those are quite big, so this should be quite good. 325s all round, no option to increase the, can't remember what you call it, the how outy the wheels are. For some reason my brain's gone blank on that. The, I can't remember the name of it. I'm trying to. I don't know. Someone will argue with me in the comments and tell me I'm an idiot for forgetting what it is. Anyways, we also are going to go for the race suspension, which is going to make the wheels look slightly less ridiculous. We are definitely going to want the roll cage, because this is not a young vehicle. It's a 1964 model apparently, so yeah, definitely going to want some extra rigidity. In terms of PI, it actually seems to be climbing up quite nicely. It's doing better than I was expecting when it comes to its PI. It really is, actually. I was expecting this to sort of be a low S1 class car. I haven't actually played around with the Taxi in this game yet, so this should be interesting. Yeah, okay. We're getting sort of similar PIs to what we had with the Quartz Regalia. That being said, putting the extra power in it seems to be reducing the PI, so you know what, we are going to just keep it slightly lighter, and we're going to go up to a grand total of 962 horsepower, 806 foot-pound torque, 3,077 pounds of weight, 6 seconds to 60 and 232 miles per hour. That seems a bit ridiculous. 3,077 pounds of weight. Yeah, one of the heavier cars we've had, but PI-wise, well, PI-wise and tyres actually are instilling me with a little bit of confidence when it comes to the Austin Taxi. Now, whether that confidence will be well-founded or not remains to be seen, but I am, yeah, somewhat confident in the Taxi. Ironically, it doesn't actually look nearly as stupid as I thought it would with this wide body kit, but yeah, there you go. Anyways, let's head to the track and see what it does. So here we are at our snowy Edinburgh course, ready to give the Austin Taxi 5 laps to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Ferrari FX4, which set the time that really does not matter to this car, because it's not going to beat that. In terms of where I'm expecting this car to be, I'm going to take my usual estimate that I take with these sort of more standardized cars and just say 150-ish would be nice for it. Admittedly, you know, with the bigger tyres on this, I do have slightly more hope. Also, we are finally here. There is a bit of an issue at the moment. There's actually a trial going on at the same place we start these events from, which seems to be messing with the game, which isn't fun. Also, just for another thing, if you can, I don't know if it will come across on the recording, if I sound a little raspier than usual, it's because apparently my throat hurts today, so it's not actually, it doesn't hurt to talk, really, it's just sort of as soon as I stop talking, it starts hurting, so yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Not quite sure what's going on there, but I am taking on plenty of fluids to try and alleviate it, but I don't know how well that's going to turn out. But yeah, so far though, this taxi seems to be alright. It is rear-wheel drive, I did forget to mention that, but that's sort of, you'd expect it to be rear-wheel drive. In fact, even today's taxis are rear-wheel drive. Fun fact, the new electric ones that are sort of half built by Geely Volvo's owners, those are actually rear-wheel drive electric vehicles because you can get a better turning circle if you don't have all the drivetrain at the front of the vehicle. So, oh, sorry, I said drivetrain. If you alleviate some of the issues, that, yeah, you get my point. I'm not sure where they mount the batteries in that thing. I'm assuming they're either in the rear because you don't really use the rear of a sort of black cab, or they're just sort of mounted underneath the car somewhere. Not quite sure. Yeah, I was watching a video about the new taxis earlier, so that's why those are in my head. That'd be an interesting vehicle to get as part of the festival playlist, or hell, even a DLC at some point, actually. Maybe that's what we really need in this game. We need like a legacy pack. You know, include like the new electric taxi, or you know, one of the older. I can't remember what we used to call them. Oh god, what was the name of those things? I can picture them in my head. I think they were made by like a company called like London Taxis International. I think they were called the LXI T4 or something like that. I don't know. The taxi before the new electric-y ones. We need like one of those, maybe a Rover SD1. You know, to pay homage to the one of the Britain's fastest police cars ever. You know, stuff like that. That'd be cool. But then again, I mean, the DLC situation with this game has been pretty good so far, although I did just miss that checkpoint, so fuck my life. I will say, on its opening lap, it got a 151.546, which is pretty good. Also worth noting, the game sort of was saying 0 to 60 is 6 seconds. And that seems to have been a complete load of bollocks, because it's perfectly fine doing 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds, I assume. I haven't timed it, but definitely feels like it's quicker than 6 seconds. It doesn't quite feel like it can do 230 miles an hour, mind. It's alright, but straight line speed wise, actually, I'll keep an eye out as we go over the Glasgow Smile. Also, another excuse I have to get out of the way. I haven't driven this course in 2 weeks, I think it is now. We took a little bit of a break from this. We were supposed to film it again during spring, however, that never came to be, so basically because we were busy, so. But we're back now. Not like you would have actually noticed any intermission at all, because you've still got the last episodes that we recorded in winter, I believe, or autumn. I can't remember. One of the 2 seasons. You still got those going up, so. Anyways. Right. Coming down towards here. It was winter, come to think of it, actually. Right, how much speed do we get towards the Glasgow Smile? Pretty respectable 155 before going on the brakes. Brakes are not amazingly good in this vehicle. I mean, it has got 325 tyres at the front, so maybe I'd expect it to have good brakes, but I didn't actually check while the car was being upgraded. I don't know if these wheels are actually the sort where you can actually see through them. I'm assuming this thing was on drum brakes before, so we've probably just got slightly reinforced drums over brand new disc brakes, which probably explains the slight lacking in the braking department for this vehicle. But yeah, I mean, overall as like a handling machine, it's not bad. Acceleration's pretty good. Like I said, braking's slightly poor, but the handling itself is secure enough. Those big front tyres certainly do make a nice load of difference through these sort of lower speed corners. A 148.843 on that last lap, which is pretty good. It's about average for a car around this track, I think. A 148, well, we've had 50 cars. This is actually episode 51, I believe. So it's sort of in the lower half of the board, but that's still a respectable time from a vehicle like this. Most of the cars that we've driven around so far have been sort of more sports cars, so it's sort of to be expected. It's one of the oldest cars we've had for a little while, I think, actually. Well, I mean, the last car was a 1932 Ford, but I don't think it was, well, it definitely wasn't built in 1932. And an all-wheel drive system, for crying out loud. I'm not sure when the Double Doom was sort of conceived, but I'm sure someone can tell me. But yeah, the taxi's actually pretty good. I really cannot complain about the way the taxi handles itself. Again, the only real weak point of this vehicle seems to be braking. It's a little bit on the sloppy side when it comes to its ability to brake. That was a very nice bunch of corners there. But, I mean, compared to what you'd probably expect when you put a V8 through an old British taxi, it's doing surprisingly well. I do not recommend this IRL, because I'm assuming this would end badly. I'm not sure what actually powered the FX4 originally. I know the later LXI cars had the 2.5 litre 4-cylinder diesel, I believe it was, which made like about 100 horsepower. The new cabs make only about 110, 120, so they've hardly gotten powerful. But then again, when you're driving around London, or indeed some other city centres, you don't really need to do so. I mean, again, you got to remember, an Uber only has about 118 horsepower from Prius as well. So, or is it? Actually, I think the Prius might be more around 130 at this point. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at Priuses that much. I was almost considering getting one as the next car for a joke, but I think, to be honest with you, I'd rather just have whatever the Honda equivalent was at the time, whether that be a Civic Hybrid or a later Insight, or an earlier Insight, but those are way too expensive. Yeah, part of me wishes I bought a hybrid, but I like my Honda Accord, so, which I'm trying to pair my phone to at the moment. If you want to see that video, TRE Extras, there's a channel for you to go check out. Which you can do actually now that we've got a new outro card. Hopefully you're enjoying that. One consistent outro card, one consistent outro song for now. I don't know if I'm going to end up changing that song. I probably will down the line, but I think the outro card is pretty much perfect, so I kind of got tired of cycling through all the old ones, so that explains the new one. Also, I wanted to promote more stuff, so the Twitter and Discord and stuff is actually all sorts of on that ending card as well, which is nice. Right, anyways, across the line is going to be quicker. There's going to be a 147.943 for the Crazy Taxi. Yeah. It's surprisingly a good handling vehicle, to be honest with you. Again, I'm very impressed by the capabilities of the Taxi. It's better than you'd expect it to be. Again, you know, with 325s on the front, the PI being relatively healthy, I was expecting a decent enough car, but considering, you know, most of the stuff that we have from sort of 50s, 60s isn't massively good, this is come as one hell of a surprise to me, so yeah, maybe if you want some a slightly interesting race car, maybe look towards the Austin Taxi. I'd probably four-wheel drive swap it, but yeah, in this guise it's not too bad. Anyways, a 147.943 will put this into 26th place, almost exactly in the middle. It goes in between the Nissan 4Rotor SX and the Ludicrous Limo, which is interesting. That's another sort of personnel transporter, much like a taxi. It's quicker than the RB Mustang, quicker than the Cayman GTS, the RX-7 Funana, quicker than the Nova 2002 Turbo. Yeah, a really solid time from the taxi. Yeah, like I said, I was expecting it to do reasonably well, but that is a surprise. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching this edition of Silly Car Showdown. If you'd like to request cars for the series, you can do so in a couple of ways. One way is the Discord, which there is a link down below in the description. We'll post them in the request chat on there, which is my preferred method because it allows me to keep everything in check. Alternatively, you can put your car down below in the comment section. With that being said and done, thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a farewell.